Lay the foundation for. Continue to take over the world. Everything is just the beginning. Pro player has enabled hack mode. Then the kingdoms. In his eyes, just industrial chickens. So is the anime Skull Leader. Break the virtual world. Has been temporarily suspended. See you soon. We continue to venture into the empire of the Devil King, and watch the evil father's family. Will this skull continue to rule the world? Chicken Pictures. Industry with the title Pro Lay of Top 1 server. Nazarick. Hey, before we go into the movie, let me give you some advice. For example, if I read the character name wrong, please forgive me. In this section, there are also many names that are difficult to read. Let's go to the movie. Episode 1 from When Dragon Tomb. Nazarick into a powerful kingdom. N. Troublesome paperwork related to the country. In the real world, Skull Leader. Just a normal office worker. But in this game world he is the one. Supreme of many subordinates. So I just need to lie to show off my evil intentions. Then throw it away. Several stacks, that paper is for me to solve. But in general it is also easy. Although the magical kingdom, capable of taking over the world. With his power, but if done in such a cruel way, then End will be considered a tyrant by humans. To be able to rule the kingdom in a fair and just manner. Forced to make policies. Soft to reassure people. In addition, it can help improve the Sorcerer King's fame. The two elf sisters are Aura and Mara suddenly appeared. Because of being a child, should be two of them. Much loved by the Skull Leader. Jealous of the Goblin sisters. Bro right away. He tricks to win back the affection of his master. Play with jealousy. Fight with kids about this grandma. By the way, the two guardians of Nazareth are here. Arbor immediately revealed the Wizarding Kingdom's next move. The Guardian's overseer, supposedly the kingdom's supplies, will be depleted in the future, because Iran Town is inherently an area of trade with other countries. Since you took the throne and renamed the territory to the Magical Kingdom, then no merchants come here. To solve this headache, then Otto has requested permission to research, to find a solution, help the kingdom develop further in the future. Adventurers of the kingdom also left the country because of facing the situation. 7 long-lasting karma indexes created by End has protected the kingdom's security quite well. Should be the requirements. Kill monsters or protect the city. No longer exists. To solve this problem, Skull Leader went to see the Adventurers Guildmaster to discuss plans to recruit adventurers across 6 locations, submit to the kingdom. In return, they will receive the protection of the Magic King. These are just the first steps in the plan. Ruling the world of N. He doesn't just want subordinates, but even the people living under his rule. Be blessed. Purpose of Skull Leader is to create an ideal world. Make the people want to be ruled by him forever. Episode 2. The thing that the Skull Leader want to be for everyone. World-known kingdom. Magic is a land of equality. Because it might help him reenact the days alongside old teammates. However I don't want to say this to Abro and Demios, for fear of disrupting the plans they are working on. That's why he decided to act on his own. Alone in silence. Since the last battle, many children have lost their parents. SO's Princess Renna established an orphanage himself to take care of. For the kids, no family. Princess believes that if care and grinding polish those rough stones, then one day, they will become precious gems. As children's talents and gifts develop, then confront the magical kingdom. It is not impossible. Not just a good girl. As a member of the royal family, Princess Renna is very knowledgeable about government affairs. To maintain peaceful relations with the Wizarding Kingdom, she thought it was a good idea to give double tribute to the ambassador. Fake will keep good relationship with the magical kingdom. Besides, person who serves as an ambassador to the kingdom. This time is it. At the ball, a royal noble named Philip, when seeing the beauty of Aura, immediately had the intention of seeing the king and taking him as a relative. This familiar bloodline believes that, if possible, build a relationship with the messenger, then can avoid being cursed by the magical kingdom. Attack in the future. Besides, the adventurer also wants to turn me, become a pawn to serve his advancement. To do that, first of all, the royal noble must prove his identity. He is a powerful man. Felipe went to a rich woman in the area called Huma to borrow her castle to hold a ball. Chic. Not stop there to polish his own name. The aristocrat Kwang invited Obama to the ball, with the purpose of letting other families believe that he is a very powerful man. The Philippines had no idea that I'm just a pawn for Cho to control. Because of his stupidity, he was made the chief of the Guardians. Can be easily control most of the country's nobility real estate. Rice but think you are chicken. Episode 3. The expansion of the magical kingdom has begun, causing countries on 6 continents to begin to worry. Even Slend France, a country more powerful than the Barras Empire, also cannot ignore, in the presence of the mighty Wizard King. France Mountain has a very strong group of warriors, called the Black Bible. Among them was a man called the Thin Lai Bird Spirit, able to observe events from a distance. Through the records of the bird spirit Thin Lai, then the Council of France Slend have known the Sorcerer King possesses the power of the gods. However, France also has its own 2 warriors, called the Descendants of God. But the reality is much more cruel. Thin Lai Bird locked himself in the room when seeing a power, even the threat of God. No chance of winning. However, the Council of France, still dreaming of defeating the Magic King. Their original plan is to make Choen and the adventurers confused, turn against each other, to weaken the power of the Sorcerer King. To do that, the Council forced to approach the Empire, to exploit all about the magical kingdom. Meanwhile, the Emperor, Baharaz Elsnik, is having a headache when having to suffer the oppression of the magical kingdom. When hearing the news of France, want to cooperate, also bring some valuable items. Helped Cho Elsnik find another path to be able to fight against the Magic King, the Empire. Only way is to unite Min and French and borrow strength from them. We'll get the top of this plan, so Elsnik made an appointment French ambassadors. In the arena of empire. Not yet the emperor joins the army. Also sent a group of adamantine-ranked adventurers. Is the silver-bird fox escorting me? When the highlight match of the arena takes place. It is also the time when the gods' French official letters appear. However, we have not had time to discuss cooperation yet, then the unexpected happened. Below the arena, challenger to the king of the enemy country, is the king of the magical kingdom. This ironic situation caused the French too. Lan is skeptical, because Elis is the one. Arrange meeting place, with the aim of avoiding the eyes and ears of this sudden appearance of the wizard king will cause a lot of pressure, causing the Imperial Alliance plot and France 7 defeat. Indeed, the chief priests of France no longer trust the Emperor of Ba-Harot. Things have come to this. Alice had no choice but to rely on the martial king, the strongest gladiator in the empire. End in duel. Episode 4. Go back in time. When I'm with the president of the association, adventurer goes to the Barith Empire to recruit talents for service to the Wizarding Kingdom. Jack thinks, because this is empire, should be just, the Sorcerer King shows his power, will attract the admiration of everyone. To carry out this plan, the Guild Master of the Adventurers Guild gave N to meet the arena boss, to arrange a match with the king of the Barith Empire, because the match will take place the next day. Should be taken advantage of. That time, I went to see the old magician Flora, the one who was the advisor to the Stone Prince Eric. But now it has been regulated. For full information about the king of martial arts, Hen has rewarded the old wizard a crap book in my collection. Who would have thought that was the truth that Flora is looking for? That's why he, ready to listen to the orders of the Skull Leader, in a disciplined manner. After getting all the information about Martial Arts Garden, I met the arena's boss, OS, to arrange a match. At first, the arena manager seemed worried. When a king of a kingdom fight personally. However, when he heard the N's magic was weakened, and it took 15 minutes, art has begun to falter by the time it can be restored. If more certain, the arena boss asks the Magic King must fight with weapons, but not using magic. Although try to weaken N's power by all means. The Oscar knew full well that his warrior Martial Arts Garden will lose, and cannot save life. What can the arena boss do? Just meaningless words of encouragement. Before the fight, the two sides had an agreement with each other. If the king loses, must become the servant of the Magic King. And vice versa, N will have to become prey for the king of the arena. The match quickly started right after that. As predicted. No chance at all. Just with a gentle touch of N's hand was enough to make the martial king's whole body tremble. But the king of the arena had no intention of giving up. He decided to fight, even though knowing that, before my eyes is a mountain high in the sky. To die on the battlefield is the desire of a mighty warrior. The martial king begged the Magic King to use it. Full power to fight him. This offer was quickly accepted. In just a few short seconds, Skull Leader defeated the king of the arena. If possible, recruit adventurers. Talent to the Magic Kingdom. I used my power to revive Chovuon. Witnessed the mighty power of the Wizard King. Not only people, that even Emperor Bareth decided to return. Episode 5. After defeating the Martial King and the Bareth Empire. And listen now. Vi journey to the kingdom of the dwarves, to carry out the next plan. At this time, also completed the mission in the Holy Kingdom and returned. When shown by Albert, the civil service became a colony of the Bareth Empire. The fake guardian of the 7th floor immediately showed fear. By Timmy's intelligence. It took a month. Then Ray can do that. But it only took me 3 days. Actually, who knows if that skullhead guy is lucky? Turtles are scary. This time Vey went to the kingdom of the dwarves. I just want to establish a friendly relationship, but with no intention of invasion. However, based on the other party's behavior, then do not rule out the possibility of war happening. Purpose of friendship of the Skull Leader is to own weapons with high features. Grudge, and most importantly, is the technology of the dwarf race. The chosen one to go to the cremation this time is Soti. And Aura. Although the vampire girl was created as a fox spirit. Strongest frequency, but the Skull Leader want her to learn more experience on this trip, to be more mature. There is a lot of knowledge from Israel in this world, scattered everywhere, and run technology is one of them. I doubt that. The propagator of the technique of shaking for the kingdom, dwarf. Skull Leader group arrived at the city of the dwarves, but there was no sign of life. Appear here by sending a body to inquire about news. I discovered Ray. There is a dwarf digging for minerals deep underground. The dwarf's name is Gondo. He said, all the inhabitants of the kingdom move to another city far away from here. Over 6 days walking north. To get straight to the point, the Sorcerer King mentioned the rune character and wanted to import that technology to his kingdom. Gondo says the technology runs in the Cage Kingdom. Long gone. Due to 200 years ago, magic caster's enchanting technique appears. Because of the technology of the magic, more efficient should be run characters has gradually become obsolete and fall into oblivion. Even so, Gondo still believe in the potential of technology runs and wants to continue, develop it. Hear this, I decided to give my full support to the old dwarf in return for the price he paid. That is selling soul to the King of Magic. Don't miss this deal. The old dwarf accepted the deal without hesitation. Right now inside the city appeared a large number of demi-humans, called Koga. They are reason. Immediately order story. Lead the soldiers to attack the demi-human race, to interrogate information from them. Just for a short time, Vampire Girl has completed the task excellently. Besides Ra, he also knows the Korra clan is preparing attack to destroy all the dwarves in the northern city. Episode 6. Koga's Eastern Army has begun to attack on the border of the city of the dwarves. The situation is more urgent than ever. When they intended to leave the city, to migrate again, then the Magic King appeared and made an offer. Fact. To promote friendly relations. I said I would help the dwarves destroy the Korra. At the gate. No other choice. The general of the dwarf race immediately accepted this offer. Also got 2 Death Knights. My favorite book to read is Death Knight, created by the Sorcerer King. The more you sweep and destroy the criminals, the more you merciless. To avoid being wiped out, commander of the Korra has cut off the suspension bridge, causing the two Death Knights to fall straight into the abyss. To destroy the destroyer, then an individual must be level 45 or higher. However, if you are a player, it is extremely easy. The loss of the two Death Knights made me suspect that most likely brainwashers, after last tie related to this. The Dwarf Kingdom has no leader like a king, but instead a Regency Council. Through negotiation, and wants to make friends with the dwarves. Besides the Magic King also want to provide them with food. Fresh, including wine. Something the Dwarven Kingdom doesn't have. In return, weapons, minerals and technology run. Besides, Orion also offered to help Cho and them get it back. The ancient capital was invaded by the demon race. At first, the dwarves did not believe the help of the Magic King. But after discussion, the Regency Council decided to accept N's requirements. On one condition, it is the workers who tremble when they come to the magical kingdom should be treated kindly and not like slaves. After negotiation, I immediately went to meet the elite runner group to tell them about the future direction. I took the skull and gave it to the workers to tremble. Saw a sword engraved 20 characters or less run. Something they could never dream of doing. In the age when the king artisans shined the most, then the king's hammer at that time can only engrave up to 6 characters. However, I still want to bring these blacksmiths back to the kingdom to be able to regenerate. The knowledge has disappeared. The rule of convincing the artists. The Magic King immediately performed what I promised the dwarves. That is to give back the ancient capital to them. Guide for me this time is still Gondo. To get to the city, need to pass 3 dangerous gates. However, for a VIP 15 player like Animal World, then these obstacles, like a tiny speck of dust. The last thing they need to do is full-scale battle with the demon race, HOA, and their protector is a dragon called Snow Dragon Bone. 17. The king of the dwarves knew about the dwarves. Counterattack with some strange miracle, not giving the opponent time to breathe. My group right now also got close to the lair of the scientists. Thanks to this urgent news, the king of the human race, River, decided to ask for help from the Dragon Clan. With this plan, he will be able to make the dwarves' fighting force, and the dragon race was reduced. Then Korra's reign will begin. Went to the cave of the dragon tribe to pay homage to the Snow Dragon King's bones and ask him for help in the upcoming war with the dwarves. It's too good to return the favor. Kill the little dwarves. For dragons, it's as easy as pie. Should be the post. But the Dragon King is not a fighter. But his son named Hazuma will do it. The unexpected is Hazuma is a very timid bookworm dragon. More than its competitors. Not the dwarf race as foretold. Which is the king of the magical kingdom. With 2 extremely strong guardians. Just met then pretend. Very arrogant. But when N was about to launch a heart-crushing blow when Hazumo was quick, lay down on the ground and begged to surrender and submit to the Wizard King. After subduing the little bone to et long and command Aura and Seisha, take care of fighting Kwang yourself. Will go to the Dragon King's lair to destroy me. Before destroying the Snow Dragon King's bones, Wardo because it was sincere in its surrender. Before the match, I have given the Dragon King a favor. That is, of course, the king does not want to bow to anyone. And it was that arrogance that killed him. With just one move, the Magic King transformed into the Snow Mountain Dragon King, into a soulless lizard. The female dragons heard about being spared. If I were Harry Potter's mother, immediately competed for that position, to survive under the hands of the Wizard Lord. With Aura, is also preparing to start the battle with 6 Aura. Arrogant. Vampire girl, give the lover race 2 choices. 1 is under the rule of the magical kingdom. 2 is destroyed. Until the Coca ship has 4,000 males left. 4,000 females and 2,000 juveniles, then also subject to the government. Offered wine not to drink. Choose to drink penalty wine when the order is given to the dry hordes under attack. Following with the power of an Andes. Made the demi-human race. Mountains of corpses. Blood flows like a river. No, that cannot win. Rizuro quickly picked out the number of 10,000 were allowed to survive, as the vampire girl said. In just a short period of time, all dragons and Koa have accepted. Under the rule of the Wizard King. As agreed, and has reclaimed the ancient capital for the dwarves. Synonymous, the artists must go to the magical kingdom. As agreed. Find the kingdom of man. His king. Success again in successfully acquiring another country. The 7th floor guardian also wondered that. How far has the end gone? In a daze he accidentally answered. 1 million years makes Chodia scared. Oh, age so short. Really, this guy doesn't know anything. All bullshit. Episode 8, French Empire or Kingdom. All fear the expansion of the magical kingdom. Realm. Not easy. What can be subjugated by the magical kingdom? Because if you do that, civil unrest will occur in the country, by the nobility in this country. Not as easy to be led by the nose as in other empires. Know that Pharaoh was acquainted with the messenger Obi. Should be 2 other royal nobles in the area came to him to discuss the plan. Because know the Magic Kingdom is pouring food into the Regent Kingdom and sell it for a dirt cheap price, has made Cho Philip agitated. If this situation continues, then the output of his territory raw will fall in price. So Philip came up with a plot that could reduce food production of the Wizarding Kingdom. Received a dynamic news waiting. Obama called N back to the kingdom. Along with that is the set. All fake. Attended an emergency meeting. Main content of this meeting. That is about the problem. Food convoy of the magical kingdom was robbed within the kingdom's territory. The ones who caused this were the stupid nobles. Although knowing that the convoy had a flag of Kingdom of Magic, immediately he called for Huma, person responsible for the management of the noble name. Stupid Philip. After using the domination technique to investigate, he realized that Homer was only indirectly involved in this. So, forgive her. It is this tolerance of the Sorcerer King has made Shohuma bewitched, to the point of accepting submission, absolute kingdom of magic. The plan to invade the real estate kingdom was drawn up. Son, it is called ROI in Candy. To be successful you must cause internal turmoil in real estate. Then the magical kingdom will intervene. In a peaceful way. Learn more about this plan. Was proposed by a prominent figure of Key to the plan, this time is stupid action of the foolish noble Philip. Punishment for the attacker. The Magic Kingdom caravan. Only one. Something called destruction. You. Yeah. Real estate kingdom begins. Fuss about the impending invasion. Zara the prince thinks should take the head of the noble Philip Ra to negotiate, to ease the wrath of the magical kingdom. However, the king did not agree with this. To protect the nobility in the country, the king came up with a cleverer plan. Episode 9, after deciding, Paste Rage on the Real Estate Kingdom, was launched on OMO. Immediately to this country, to notify about the nobles in the country dare to play tricks with the Magic Kingdom. The King of Real Time said, will his life be enough to defeat the Sorcerer King? Calm down or not. But for Obama, saying he is the end is absolute. Whatever may be, the Magical Kingdom will still invade. Time is 1 month until the wrath. The worst thing to happen to this country. It's been a month since the declaration of aggression was made. Still no word on the move of the Magical Kingdom. It is by plan of by managing routes and blocking information. Not knowing that their territory is being devoured. Little by little. The battle is over, the next territory is up to you. Through the records of the Guardians. Feel confused for some reason, which the magicians personally invaded. Then there is a small number of people who survived. I just know how. Pretend to be crazy and distract the subordinates, because he had previously promised. Nidora goes Victoria. Will spare a small portion of the people by 2 people. Those people will have more opportunities to develop in the future. In the port city, the reign of Count Nora is being attacked by an army of zombies, under the command of 2 Destina aimed at. Look back at the Count side. Then have the support of Mithril level adventurer group. Is called 4 weapons. To raise the morale of the warriors and the people in the city. Nora decides will reward the survivors greatly. In this war, the battle began soon after. All non-physical moves, or the magic of the Count's faction, both meant nothing to the 2 Death Knights. No other way but to order the 4 armed group. Only way is hand to hand, to find out their weak points. However, despite being empowered and full support from teammates, the leader of the 4 weapons still could not scratch the itch for Deadline, let alone defeat it. When Count Nora's territory about to face destruction, then a red armor appeared in the sky. More than anything, with just a few simple moves from this strange warrior, Tukon Death Knight of the Magical Kingdom was destroyed. According to the 4 armed group, it was an adventurer known as Red Drop. 80 Red Drop appearances. Completely beyond the end's expectations. But to avoid being embarrassed, the leader of the Skull told his subordinates this plan was calculated in advance. Fate Keeper was created with loyalty in mind. Absolute with the owner. So that AI also supports that guy. This is bullshit. Because he promised to spare some people. Should be. But switch to public. Princess Rena came to the prince, his Janus, to ask about the land of the imprisoned king. Inside the palace, 2 princes said the king still stubbornly wanted to negotiate with the enemy. even though it doesn't work. So he imprisoned his father. Because the invasion information was covered up, causing Cho, Reno, and Janet to suspect that there is a spy inside the kingdom. The most suspected person here is Marquis River, because his territory is close to the border. Most invaded place. In this situation, 3 princesses supposedly must fight to the death with the Magic Kingdom. Is inevitable. But the prince also agreed with this and decided publicize the inhumanity of the Wizard King, with the purpose of recruiting troops for the final battle. Meanwhile, the adventurer group Blue Rose to a secret location to meet the person known as the Red Drop. His name is Arizona and he is Las Vegas' uncle. Leader of the Blue Rose Society. Suddenly another group of strange warriors appeared. According to Arthur, they are the French Bible. This group of warriors come here with the aim of forming an alliance with Blue Roses and Red Drops to save humanity. Along with Isaac refused this offer. They just want to act individually, although having similar purposes. On a vast prairie, many princes have personally act as an envoy to negotiate with the Wizard King. Sarah tried her best to make peace. But you almost gave up all those requests. For the Wizard King, what he wants is happiness. To make the important people around you happy. N is ready to destroy an entire kingdom and kill all the people there. 7 defeats. But Janus was still very brave when faced with a force stronger than oneself. No, that will die, but 2 princes still decided to fight. Go all the way and don't run away. This is what made me feel interesting about this prince. For something bad happened when Jared returned. Barracks. For fear of death, many of the warriors of Regatas rebelled together to force. 2 princes must surrender. Destruction is inevitable. Episode 11. The disappearance of 2 princes. Proof of ending. Of the Kingdom Reza, the treasure has come. And the aristocratic group that used to be the Medical Association, for his service to the Magical Kingdom, should be taken to safety by the latter before the plan to destroy the kingdom begins. N's army has begun to set out. Is the one in charge of invading the royal capital, son of magic and order, will welcome those who intend to oppose. Sure enough, the Red Drop was the first to appear. Person assigned to receive. Arizona is the Guardian General. The red thing is the one who makes the first move, but even with world-class items, he still can't make Choan or Auto chipped even a little. On the contrary, the power of OVERLORD causes the red thing can be said to be domineering. The armor is known as the item around the world. Only the Guardian General consider as a piece of tofu, soft and mushy. While watching his subordinates fight, then N was suddenly attacked by another warrior. This one wears a platinum armor. His power can be said to be stronger than the Red Drop. Very often dare to actively attack without magic. Platinum Knight calls himself. See a strong warrior, and immediately intended to recruit him. If the Platinum Knight submits, then the Wizard King will not mind. Stop the invasion of China immediately. But negotiations failed to avoid being attacked by Acania. He immediately used superior teleportation to keep a safe distance. Suddenly, invisible by Platinum Knight, created before, and continuously releases the items he has, but still can't make Choa move. Even just a little, by using a plastic staff hammer. Attack. Just an empty shell. Human control is currently hiding in another location. When the blows are no longer effective, I started to panic and knelt down to pray to Acaria. In fact, this is just a diversionary tactic of the Sorcerer King to buy time for Alfredo to come to the rescue. With the timely appearance of the fake Guardian, Arcane has decided to withdraw. Jerk. Both plan to coordinate together to destroy the Wizard King, but it seems they underestimated the power of N. Most surprising, the character controlling the platinum armor is the strongest Dragon King in the world. He doubts that Obama or the Magic King is the player. Not a BC like all existence. In this world, after playing a match one-on-one with VN, Longvong is confident that we'll be able to defeat the Skull Leader. Next time. King of Dragons. Unexpectedly, the person fighting him, just a subordinate, under the disguise of the Magic King. December with the information that get 10. Still not enough to conclude the power of the Platinum Knight. Skull Cap. Assuming that in order to have an absolute victory, then they have to continue acting and lose another game. After this match, he did not know if he would be killed. Then the rebirth. Is it possible or not? Should be from now on. Every action must be taken carefully step by step. Skull Leader. Want to return to the capital, to bring down the curtain on the final battle. Almost understood the owner's intention. Not like other times. This time for real. I have planned it out meticulously in my head. Not be a bullshit like Kia. The royal capital now only has a shadow left. Of some people. Blue Rose Association went to the princess's place to drink tea. And it seems Laka had intended to help Renna to fight to protect the kingdom. The leader's teammates, Blue Rose Association, suddenly attacked her with great violence because he knew Clark would stubbornly want to protect the real estate. To control his leader. After controlling it, Yuri will manipulate it. She heals herself and move to a safe place, regardless of the survival of a nearly dead kingdom. Also choose your own path that is fighting. One final showdown with the Sorcerer King, but have not met N. The warrior had to greet. One little fear. Friend use all his power, with the desire to launch a team of warriors. However, not every effort will lead to success. Face an absolute power. The warrior was killed on a rooftop. Respect the brave spirit of the brand. Gave this warrior a proper burial. And accept to take a detour so as not to humiliate him. In spite of level of the 5th floor guardian. Much superior. 13th. The current royal capital is nothing more than an abandoned house. All demons serve the imperial court, either dead or left the country. To save lives, the king took off his crown and decided, entrusting the history of the royal family for the coming conquerors. However, Princess Renna came up with a better idea. To deal with the magical kingdom. She wants to hide the treasures of the real estate. If End intentionally destroys the royal capital, then will. The person assigned to hide these items is Princess's deputy. At the same time, the Guardians were ordered. City destruction has begun. When the mission is completed and returned, had to witness a horrifying scene. Before my eyes, the king was brutally murdered. In front of 3 princesses. Outraged by the evil, Angela wanted to fight. A survival with the Wizard King. If it is in a story, then the effort will help to awaken people. Hidden powers. Unfortunately, the reality is much more cruel. This world, there is always injustice, and the presence of N is the Lord. Bring about justice. Equality for all. Still have a trump card. It is a ring that can release the power of a warrior. But even though I use that ring, and the power of the blonde guy, just a shrimp compared to the Magic King, to end Plan's miserable life, and immediately used his secret technique to crush the heart, send young man to grave. Min woke up in a daze. The blonde guy was extremely feverish when he saw the princess had turned into a demon. Moreover, Renner himself wished for this. Not forced. To possess eternal life. 3 princesses killed their fathers with their own hands. Is the king. The plan to destroy Cho real estate. Out of 10 parts, 9 parts were compiled by Reno. Is a rare genius. With this talent, it is very possible that Renner's future will become a N's great tactical talent. Even possible, will surpass Obaro and Timus. Son of royal nobleman, Philip paid a bloody price when he dared to molest Abraham before and boldly plan the attack. The Magic Kingdom convoy. So season 4 of Overall has ended, guys. Wait forever. Enough 13 episodes for everyone to see. This part, in my opinion, is okay. Much better than the previous part. And that intelligence. The 3 princesses' tricks. Just to get eternal life and all. 8 dreams of your feelings about this season 4 is so awesome. Well then, goodbye and see you again everyone. In the next sections, listen.